Our series over the next few weeks is called Looking for a Miracle. And this week specifically, the miracle of breaking free. A miracle. To define a miracle, I have consulted several dictionaries, but off the top of your head, just the understanding is a miracle is an event outside the normal laws of nature. A demonstration of God's power. And the result in this specific case, this specific miracle, was the defeat of Israel's enemies and the reassurance of his people. Now, we've only got to the second book of the Bible. We've got Genesis and Exodus, and we're 14 chapters into the book of Exodus, and we're already knee-deep in miracles. The creation of the world. Just think about that. You turn back to Genesis. The very act of creation, the abundance of it, the wide-scale diversity of it. The creation of man. And I take that as a separate case. Man was something special, created in the likeness of God, given an immortal soul. A different type of creation. Different type of miracle. Noah and the flood, salvation of God's people, new beginnings. The Tower of Babel, God was in control despite man's vanity, despite the challenge of man to God's authority. Abraham and Sarah, the faithfulness of God's promises. At such an advanced age, Abraham and Sarah were to be the founder of a nation. Other miracles. Jacob's wealth. Do you remember he was looking after his father-in-law's sheep? Laban, his father-in-law, was doing everything he could to trick Jacob out of a decent living. But God was increasing Jacob's flocks despite what his devious father-in-law had planned. God was giving Jacob great wealth and protection and great provision. It must have been very frustrating for father-in-law Laban. Joseph and his amazing technicolor dreams, an interpreter of dreams, doing God's work. Moses and Pharaoh. Now there's a whole series of miracles here. When you think about the story, Moses' survival, the fact that he was alive as a mature man, was a miracle in itself. Look at where he came from. He avoided death even as a baby. The plagues of Egypt, another miracle, the burning bush, let's not jump ahead. God's patience with Moses, despite Moses' reluctance to serve. No, not me, anybody but me, God. Now, in a human story, you'd expect a zap of lightning at that point. If you're not going to listen to me, Moses, I'll zap you. But no, God says, no, I have patience with you, I love you, I have a mission for you. I'm going to hold your hand as we do this mission to save my people. So, miracle after miracle after miracle. The hardening of Pharaoh's heart. The eventual escape. They were marching out of the land. In the end, the Egyptians were paying the Israelites to go, take our gold, take our silver, just go. Miracle. How did God change people's minds? When they have hardened hearts. Miracle after miracle. And I must at this point come back to a few verses. Chapter 9. All of a sudden, over the horizon, the Egyptian army appeared, pursuing the Israelites. They overtook them as they were at camp. As Pharaoh approached, this is from verse 10. Pharaoh approached, the armies approached. The Israelites looked up, and they cried out to the Lord, oh, look, we're going to die. They panicked. They'd lived through these miracles, and they panicked. They were bound up by their fear. They were transfixed. They couldn't move. So the message came back from God through Moses. Don't cry. Tell the Israelites to move on. Things are happening. Just move on. Don't be trapped by your fear. The miracle of breaking free. They were tethered down by their immediate circumstances. Human nature doesn't change an awful lot, does it? We know the outcome of this story, and we can be judgmental about the Israelites, saying that they had very little faith, very little understanding. Well, I think they were tied up, they were trapped, they were tethered by the circumstances of the moment. And that's not too different from us. We only remember and see our priorities are what's oppressing us at the moment, what pain, what fear, what doubts we're encountering at any particular moment. Human nature is the same, fearful of the unknown. We're wary of the future. We'd rather be back where we were, wary of the future, but we do have hope. We're looking for a miracle. We can go on from here. We've encountered enough miracles, and I'm sure that I've not given you an exhaustive list of the miracles that have occurred up to chapter 14 of Exodus. The Old Testament goes on, it's full of miracles. It continues into the New Testament. Again, it begins with a miracle, the birth of Jesus. We read about it every Christmas, don't we? The Advent story. And we get entranced by our children's portrayal of the Advent scene in school plays. Yet this was an almighty miracle. Heaven comes bending down and touching earth. You couldn't dream of such a story. God in human form. What an amazing miracle. And that's only the beginning of the New Testament. And Jesus' mission, to help us break free from the things that tie us down. Bad decisions, regret, bad habits, wrong choices, wrong lifestyle. The things that tie us down and tether us as strong as any shackle. They do restrict our lives. And that's what Jesus came, to break the chains. We sing choruses about it, don't we? Break every chain. We talk about the past and people carrying baggage, carrying the past with them. And I was reminded of the story of Scrooge and Jacob Marley. You know, the film that's on every Christmas. Their problem was money. They couldn't get enough of it. They were addicted. And when they got it, their worries weren't over. How am I going to keep it? How am I going to protect it? How am I going to make more? That's real addiction, real shackles. And quite a vivid portrayal of Jacob Marley's shackles. He was chained down by all these chains, wasn't he? And all these heavy cash boxes you see on the film. What a portrayal of how, when we're tethered to things of this world, how it really restricts us. Moses had the beginning of wisdom. He says, I'm a stranger in this land, I'm just passing through. So we shouldn't allow our desire, our greed, our human ambitions to give us these horrible chains and these horrible anchors to root us where we are. This is not our home. We too are strangers in this land. This is not the baggage that we should carry with us. Baggage, things from the past. And what about the future? Worrying about what's ahead of us. What if? Should I go this way? What will happen if I do that? What about? It's like working out the moves on the chessboard, only there's many more permutations. We can't possibly hope to keep up because there are so many circumstances that we don't even know about, let alone control them. We can't cover all the possibilities. It's worrying, isn't it? And what about now? Do we like where we are at the moment? Do we like our present circumstances? Are we enjoying our job? Are we living fulfilled lives? Are we making the most of the relationships, people that love us? Are we expressing our love to other people? Do we like where we're living? Do we like how we're living? Do we worry about what people think of us? What do we think of ourselves? The past, the present, the future. Do we have plans? Do we have ambitions? How do we get to where we want to be? Is what we want achievable? And in what time scale? Stop. Stop. That's the message of the Bible. Just be still. Have peace. We need a miracle. Perhaps more, and perhaps they're more plentiful than we thought they were. Perhaps they're more readily reachable than we thought that they were. I was toying with the meaning of miracle. We accept that miracles are the result of God acting outside nature. Divine intervention in human affairs. But is that a good enough definition? Consider that everything God does is amazing, miraculous. Because God himself is amazing. He's bigger than our imagination. He's more powerful. He's all-seeing, the Bible tells us. He's present everywhere at the same time. He's more loving. He's more forgiving. He's more gracious. God is outside of time and space, we've been told in past messages. Isn't that pretty miraculous? So consider, God made everything, and he made it from nothing. Whenever the sun rises, it's a miracle. How do seeds grow? Some seeds look different, but many seeds look the same. You plant them, and a lettuce might come up, or it might be the seed of an apple tree. That's pretty miraculous, the fact that things grow, and grow into trees. And what about human life, the miracle of a baby? Everybody has their emotions stirred by a baby. But you consider the complexity of the human body, the internal organs, the brain. It's not just a brain, it's a mind. That baby is a perfect human being, created in the likeness of God, with an immortal soul. What's more amazing than a baby? That's a miracle. Our amazing God can work within nature, within natural laws of nature and physics, or outside of it, because he is God. And he's given us a handy reminder. Now, how might the Israelites have benefited from having recourse to information like this? God's historical involvement in humanity, his involvement in his creation, in the world. A reminder, when they're fearful, here comes the enemy, turn to Psalms, we'll find reassurance in the Psalms. They didn't have that. But God has given us that handy guide. How to break free from fears, from uncertainties, from the past, from worries about the future. And some of what it says, we know the general course that God is revealing to us. But to paraphrase part of the message of the Bible, God is saying, I know you. I know you personally. I've lived as you live. I've done the things that you've done. But I'm not worried about them like you worry about them. I can handle what you can't. Bring your burdens and leave them with me, because I have no limits. Forget the past, it's already happened. Don't worry about the future. Don't fret. Don't lose sleep. Don't chew your fingernails. I'm already there. I'm waiting for you. And as for the present, Jesus himself says, my peace I give you. Come to me. I'll shelter you in any storm. I have no limits. Don't lose sight of me. That's what the Israelites' problem was. Letting the situation become the only thing that they could focus on. They were fearful. They were tired. They were uncomfortable. These were problems of that moment. And look how they reacted. They'd rather have been back in Egypt. So they claimed. Short-term memory. By definition, miracles are unmissable. But they missed the whole point somehow. They missed the whole series of miracles. I'm going to come back to the verses 7 turn back to the previous chapter. Forgive me, I'm losing my thread. Chapter 13 of Exodus, if we look at verses 7 to 10. It says, eat unleavened bread during those 7 days. Nothing with yeast in it is to be seen among you, nor shall any yeast be seen anywhere within your borders. On that day tell your son, tell your children, I do this because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. This observance will be for you like a sign on your hand and a reminder on your forehead that this law of the Lord is to be on your lips. For the Lord brought you out of Egypt with his mighty hand. You must keep this ordinance at the appointed time, year after year. They needed that reminder to carry through with them. This is what the Lord has done. If you can't remember it, write it down. Tie it to your arms. Wear it around your head. Carry a book with you. If you can't remember the power of the Lord, the mercy of the Lord, the intervention of the Lord, keep your eyes somehow on what God has done. Reassure yourself not only of his faithfulness, but of his power to deliver you from anything that's binding you. His power to help you break free. God wants us to break free from our fears, from that which restricts us. It's not just his desire, he gives us the means to do so. He gives us hope, faith, the strength of the fellowship of his people. He gives us reminders. Don't ignore the reminders. Keep your word within reach. Keep your eyes on the Saviour. We have that advantage, the scripture. Lots of reminders to remember, reassurance of his trustworthiness, all in a book, an easy to carry package. Are you looking for a miracle? Keep your eyes on God. Look where you last met him. Do the things that bring you into his presence. Pray. Meditate on his word. Worship him. Familiar ring? We've heard this before. A reminder to remember. How will you find him? Through the scriptures. Where will you meet him? In the company of believers, where his presence is welcome and his power overcomes doubts. Are you looking for a miracle? One is nearer than you think. Look at the person next to you. Just look. Behold a miracle. Tell them, say, you are the work of God. You are the handiwork of God. Moses' advice in closing. Verses 14 and 15. Do not be afraid. This is Moses' answer to the people. Stand firm. You will see the deliverance of the Lord. You will see it today. This is the thing about miracles. They are immediately effective. They are immediately noticeable. Stand firm and you will see. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stand firm and watch God do his work of salvation for you. That